Welcome to the stream. I'm Camille, and I'm your host. And tonight I am not the Dungeon Master because nobody's the Dungeon Master.
Dun dun dun.
Crazy, right? We're going to do something we haven't done in a long time, and that's Fourth Watch. And the reason we're doing that is because our beloved Mindy has the flu. And she's still, I know, right? She looks incredible. I wish I looked half as good as her when she was sick, when I was not sick. So it's fine. The point is that we are going to do Fourth Watch today. Fourth Watch is where we ask each other burning questions. We take questions from the audience, and they try to pry secrets out of the Dungeon Master, a la me. Now, you may ask, the rule is you may ask any question you'd like, players. You can ask whatever you want. Whether or not you get an answer, totally different story.
What I like to do to pry answers from the DM is throw theories at her and see which one makes her the most angry. And that's usually the one that was right.
I'm not good at theories, so I let Kate do
I'm
that.
terrible at
Before
theories.
we get started, I believe Tony has something for us.
Oh, yes. So, tonight is brought to you by Campaign Coins. Make sure you check out Campaign Coins. They make some fantastic products, and right now they have a new product out, which is their concentration coin. So make sure you head over to their website and check them out.
Thank you, Tony.
Anytime.
Ooh, you're so good at that. Excuse me. Anything else before we get started?
Concentration token looks.
Oh, if someone is
fucking
asking if they
boss.
donate 1,500 bits, will I tell you a DM secret? Fuck yeah, I will. Fuck yeah, I will. As long as it's none of my players donating that money. Players are not allowed to cheer at the channel. Y'all cut that shit out.
Can we cheer for other campaigns?
Yes,
Yeah.
I get sometimes.
Oh gosh.
So, right, Pixel Cat? We cannot tell Mindy is sick. It's fine. Oh, maybe you're just tired.
Oh my god. I'm gonna... Whatever.
Y'all, my very, very, very good friend and Dungeon Master, whom I used to be in a very serious relationship with, he teases me because when I had the flu, he said, maybe you're just tired. And I said, go fuck yourself. And so now anytime somebody is sick, he says, maybe you're
My
just
response
tired.
was, you're probably right. Here, let me lick all of your food, and then you can see how tired you feel in a few days.
He thought that was pretty clever. So, do any of my players want to ask the first question?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are we to die in this tower?
Mm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how stupid are you when you go into this tower?
Wait,
I mean,
Can't
I
answer
mean-
a question with a
fighting
question.
is stupid.
Can't answer a question with a
Like a
question.
6?
Oh, like a 6. That number is
I
a
mean-
direct correlation to how foolish you are.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like our current plan is fairly conservative.
Yeah, the chat doesn't have any faith in us at all.
No, not even a little
Wow.
None.
what?
None.
I mean, it's fine. That's it, guys.
I will say, you all know me. So, on a more serious note, for those of you who are planning encounters like this, what's really important to me and what has been important to me is that I have a very frank discussion with my players. Like, hey, look, I'm not trying to take away your agency right here, but this tower is going to have very real consequences. And I want it to be good for the story, but I also don't want it for y'all to feel like you are trapped or railroaded. Even though this is you all have realized this is an actual trap.
Wait, which one of us is Frank?
As long as I'm not
Can
Shirley.
Can I still be Garth?
Get out.
As long as I'm not Shirley.
You all die!
Not again.
I mean, I think if we go into it smart, we'll be good. It's like I walked into a trap. I knew I was walking to a trap. I also made sure I had like an exit strategy, which I immediately had to employ. So
This is going to be, it's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. I still think we're gonna knock on the door, and he's gonna welcome us in with open arms, answer all of our questions, give us Lord Keeper back, and then wish us on our merry way. That's what I'm leaning towards. I think that's what's gonna happen.
That's
I
most
mean,
likely, yeah.
I still have to have a duel with somebody. I have honor at
Oh yeah,
stake
that's
here.
right. You
I
do
mean,
have honor at stake.
I Damn.
As
I
long
mean-
as I'm not in the building when that happens, perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, but you're gonna be because he's gonna trot out.
Don't let us
He's gonna
go.
trot out your ex
Lover.
slash
Yep.
maybe dead slash maybe alive fiance, and that shit's gonna go down.
Totally 100% not terrified of that moment
Can
at
I
all.
can I tell y'all something?
Yes.
Oh.
There
Let me
are
just drop.
options in this tower that are worse than death.
It's fine. It's gonna be a
fine.
great time, guys. I'm really excited about things worse than death.
Or that could worse than death is vague. Things that could impact the story more dramatically than one of your character deaths.
Also, if anybody was wondering, Your Ex-Lover is Dead is a great song and you should check it out.
Wait, I mean, Camille, I need you to elaborate on
What's wrong?
like, I mean, I feel like us dying is like pretty impactful. Like, I'm wondering what on earth does it involve? Other people dying?
I
Is it-
mean, necromancer.
what if we died and then came back to life?
Exactly. Enthralled. Like,
Oh,
I don't
Mother
Oh.
bitch.
God
Morgan.
damn it. Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I? Yeah, let's see
Morgan,
who
you're
we are.
Morgan. Tony's Tony. Than is
Yay.
Mindy.
Oh, mine
Wait,
didn't
no,
even-
other way.
I'm Morgan.
Mine
Me.
froze.
Now I'm Mindy.
Hi, I'm
now
Morgan.
I'm Kate.
Oh, that's happened.
Now
Oh
I'm
my god,
Mindy.
Than!
Now I'm Kate.
I'm leaving it. I'm fucking leaving this.
I'm super smart.
Oh, it's not. No, like Twitch isn't loading for. Oh, there it is. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm Fan.
Hi, Mindy. You're my very best friend. Hi, Kate. You are also my very best friend.
Okay, first of all, no. No. No.
Oh, hey, you're just Mindy now.
All right,
Now I'm just
there we
Mindy.
go.
You can be best friends, but don't say very. Don't say very.
Excuse me. One of my very best friends.
There we go.
Excuse me.
Oh,
One of.
welcome
I'm
back,
just-
Kate.
Welcome back, Kate. That
I'm
beard
just
is
a
looking
Disney
great, Kate.
princess.
It is.
Oh,
Hi,
God.
I'm Morgan.
Oh, what's
Sorry
happening?
about that.
Oh, what's going on?
Don't know what happened.
We're having a party.
Ah,
Fine. I got to be me and Mindy at the same time, and it was a very liberating experience.
I would be Mindy if I could choose.
Mhm,
Okay, that's an interesting question. Who, if you had to be one of these characters in this campaign, including NPCs, who would you be?
Leona,
Who would I want to be, or who am I?
Who would you be? Who would you want to be?
this is my beard.
It's a very good beard.
Thank you.
Very good.
I worked very hard on it.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, let me just. Like,
Oh
I need
my
a good
goodness,
clip.
Kate. Beautiful. Let's all just have beards.
If I could be any character in the campaign, who would I be?
Mm-hmm.
Mustache.
That's tough.
I would be Leona. After she marries Ray.
After she marries Ray?
I would be Ray
What?
so I could marry Leona.
there you go.
Why after?
Because at that point you're like a queen.
Oh, do you? I mean, okay. I mean, it's
Well, that's fair.
that is a look.
Yeah,
That is a
Beard
look.
Game is strong tonight.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Join us, Mindy.
Wow.
I need to be a
Join us.
You've got some dwarfness going on there.
Seriously, that's some good stuff.
How do you make it?
It's in my
stand?
mouth.
I feel like your hair is too
God.
fine, Mindy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not gonna. It doesn't work. I could tie it in a knot.
Camille, are you going to cosplay Gimli?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, hi, thank you, Connor. You're ridiculous.
Connor!
friend.
Connor.
Connor!
We're
Thanks,
making
Connor.
hair beards.
Oh, thanks, Belle Chavez. Look at me, guys. It's not working.
I need a hair clip or something.
I love it, Mindy.
I tried really hard. Okay. Wait, what were we asking? Oh,
If you could be anybody in the campaign, I'm going like this the rest of the night. I don't fucking care about y'all.
I need a hair tie.
I need a clippy. I need a little clippy.
Yeah. Oh, I have a clippy.
I only have big
Oh, I have
clips. I
this
don't have little
too.
clips. Oh. Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm still. I think I like being Red. Like Red has a lot of my
The horse?
personality traits.
No, the monk. Atlas.
So, Atlas.
I'll be the horse. That's fine.
Yo, that horse
I
has some
aspire to
serious.
be-
That horse has some serious backstory. first of all.
Juva, I feel like you would be great at being Red. I just need you to know that.
Oh my god!
You would be perfect.
I think
as
that we
Red.
should bring Beth in as just a voice character, and she can play Red.
I am 100% okay with that. That would be an amazing experience all around.
I feel so powerful and manly.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, beards are great.
I'm like meant to be a dwarf anyway, so
There
like
you go.
just embracing.
See, I'm good with just my mutton chops.
I can't
Nice and
Yeah, no,
trimmed.
it looks good. I mean,
It
you know, the
suits you.
full beard isn't for everybody.
I'm taking a picture
Oh wait, hang on. Let me. Oh no, okay. I'm
of
picturing, like, a
myself.
screenshot. I was like, wait, my beard's not ready.
That, and if I let it grow out too much, it just turns into a face fro, and it's not comfortable.
Mm.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like
Okay, this is
getting
itchy.
this
This is not-
length, like it takes a lot of trimming because like I get massive Amish chops if
Yeah.
I don't keep the sides.
This is
Down.
my beard.
She's got like a Fu Manchu like kind of going
She's
on.
clearly a 70s martial arts master.
Oh,
So-
clearly.
The
So-
longer the stroking, the more martial arts.
It's
she can
very
do.
long, so I'm very wise.
So, what questions do y'all have for each other? Max, buddy, it's okay. Max is having a
Ooh,
bad
Max
dream.
has a question.
Mo,
He's
Oh,
having
Max has a-
dream. Max.
Max has a question.
So Mindy, how does Leona feel about like Atlas and Ray and all of that whole thing going on there?
She feels really confused. I mean, she proposed to Areo, so oh my god. So I think they're in a weird place right now because he's gone and she's in Summer Eladrin, so her responses are less Leona-esque and she's aware of it but doesn't really know how to handle it. So it's always harder when communication's always tougher when you're not actually having conversation face to face. So I think she definitely feels a little weird about apparently talking a lot about Atlas in her drunken state, but I mean she's super loyal to Ray. So I think she's just gonna try to figure out how to navigate.
Leona is not
That-
polyamorous,
She is not.
unfortunately. I need more poly people in my games. That's something I've been doing an underrepresentation of. Is poly people.
I mean, you've got poly players.
I do. I have one poly player and one poly DM. So.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm surrounded by poly people all the time in my own like actual community, and so I never play them in the game. We actually do have a question from the Kendall can be poly. All right, Sura's down for that. We have a question from the chat. Cyberwolf wants to know what's everyone gonna do if Celestial rolls back up.
What's she gonna roll? Oh.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna put her in the ground.
Ooh. I mean,
Yeah, Eldon feels a way about that.
Like, I mean, I specifically asked permission of my king to, like, so I can hunt this woman, right? Because she's hurt my brother, and she's doing it again, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a little doubly personal for Alexander, so shit. You can certainly try. Well, honestly, Connor, I would be 100% okay with that if that meant that we got to play D&D with you.
Oh.
It's all right. We'll figure out how to make it work. Play D&D with you.
Oh no! Breaking my heart.
You need to come back over again so I can say hi.
Bring lady. Max. will.
Yes. The cats won't like it, but Max will eventually someday.
One day. We have another question. I thought we did. If Kessra and Eldon ended up in a serious fight, what would be the deciding factor?
I think that is. I mean, what kind of serious fight? I think it would take a lot for Eldon. I think it would take more for Eldon
To fight Kestra.
Yeah.
to fight Kestra,
It
than
would.
Kestra to fight. I think it would take at this point. I think it would take quite a bit for both.
Mhm.
But basing off of the way Eldon
Well, we can
refused
roll it
to
up.
even hit, refused to even, all he, like when Leona was attacking, all he did was restrain.
Mhm.
Yeah. It would take a lot, I think, for that to actually happen.
Yeah,
If
if we're
it-
talking in character, yeah, it would. It's
If
So-
it-
very
If
unlikely.
it
But-
did,
Yeah, I'm thinking like if this isn't a question of would they fight. It's a question.
It's like mechanically.
What's the deciding factor? And I think the deciding factor is whether or not Kesra can figure out how the fuck to use her smites properly.
That's
Because
real.
if she can use
Yes.
her
There you
smites
go.
properly,
Yeah.
I
There
think
you go.
Yes,
Toast.
if Kesra uses her full advantage or full abilities, it would be close. But and if she doesn't use everything, I mean, they're stacked evenly. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're real close.
we
in
have
a lot
another
of it.
question.
Well, first off, I gotta say thanks
go
to
ahead.
Mungo.
They're a
is
little
absolutely
biased, I
wonderful.
think.
It's fine. It's fine.
What is the loftiest goal your character has had to date? Morgan, you start us off.
Oh, well, I mean, the loftiest goal previously was to find Lorekeeper. That's quickly becoming a reality, though. So I think at this point in time, with it like so close in his grasp, he's definitely starting to think a bit more about how to help Face Chosen, in particular Kesra, deal with the Veldahar and succeed. But then, what comes after that? And as for lofty goal after, he's got some ideas, but I haven't been able to talk with Camille yet, so we'll keep those on the DL for the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kesra?
Well, her loftiest goal is incredibly unattainable, which is this will all go away. That is her loftiest goal, is that she will wake up someday and none of this happened. She didn't have to do any of that. I think her lofty goal is only lofty because she doesn't think she can do it. So, I think her loftiest goal is to actually save the world. She feels like it's her loftiest goal. She doesn't feel like she didn't feel like she could do it when it first started, and very little has happened to actually make her continue or to increase that, not for lack of people trying. It's just it's difficult to freight it's a good face there, Camille. So yeah, no, that's her loftiest goal, is to actually do the thing. So we'll see if that works.
Dan?
Eldon's a simple man. His loftiest goal is just to finish his job, and so right now his mission is amorphous. I think because all of his goals are personal, like get back to Valerie, or just keep Leona and Kesra alive. He doesn't really have very many goals beyond that. He wants to find out what the hell the Division was about. He wants to know what part he plays in all of this. But it's about as lofty as it gets. He doesn't have aspirations of anything.
Mindy?
So on my list of things I need to do, honestly, the one that's probably the loftiest, although I do have End the War on here, I think the loftiest one is reconcile Kesra and Xanalor. Help them reconcile.
It's lofty.
Lofty.
That is up there in the air.
Atlas? Tony?
Ooh, well, Atlas being relatively new to the group, redeeming himself and retrieving Lore Keeper and then figuring out what to do with it is probably his loftiest goal right now. So kind of on that redemption arc and then, figuring out the path from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
What's your loftiest goal, Camille?
Oh God.
Or
Okay.
do you, if you want, you can say what Ray's loftiest goal is, but like,
Don't we all know?
what's your loftiest goal?
Ray's loftiest goal is to end the war.
Mm.
Y'all want a bit of a spoiler?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Ray is not entirely sure that the monarchy is the best way to rule this country.
Here, here.
So we have a cheerer who wants to know about the Mad Lich King.
So I'm gonna start writing down the questions so people
Yeah.
feel like getting to them.
I've got them.
Oh, you're ahead of me. It's fine.
I run shit.
Mm.
So the Mad Lich King is a very, 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 very powerful lich who apparently serves Vecna. I will give you all a secret. This is a pretty big secret. The Mad Lich King has a true identity that has already been stated in the campaign. You already know who it is. You just don't know.
It's
That is
Alistair McGrath.
Is it Alistair McGrath?
It's not Alistair McGrath.
We're only level 10. We can't
Is it a
do this yet.
Rayo? Is it a Rayo?
It's not a Rayo.
It's Celestia.
It's Celestia. It's not
God damn it.
I mean, she did come back from the dead.
Right.
Morgan had Alexander had a master necromancer in his family for so long.
She's not part of my family.
Wait, is it Roman?
No, Celestia
No.
is.
No, wrong family. It was a different.
She would have been married in had shit didn't happen.
Well, almost had a master.
Camille.
What?
Is it?
Is it what?
Roman.
No.
Okay.
Roman's got enough shit.
I mean, that's.
He doesn't need to be a
Fair.
master. He doesn't need to be a Lich King in addition to all of that. He's gonna be one.
How's that for a secret?
Frustrating.
What?
So in my handy dandy notebook, I have an important people page, and I'm just gonna start listing off the people's names and see. which
Okay,
ones make
perfect.
me
And we'll
laugh.
just wait for your face to do something.
Venvir Silvarin, Soren Silvarin, Kiyu.
Silvarian. Silvarian.
You don't even know your own name.
Did I spell it wrong in my notes? Silvarian. No, yeah, maybe, probably. It's fine. Like Kestra super attached to the name anyway.
Is it Eldon?
It's Eldon.
I mean, come on, guys.
Is it Leona?
Y'all are missing the obvious here.
No, see, I legit don't
Wait.
know Eldon's backstory.
Is it
so-
you?
Morgan, if you know it, Morgan.
Wait, Morgan, do you know it?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying it's the obvious player character who's the
Would
Mad
be-
Lich King is me.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
That's actually why he's still with us, is he wants to eventually get back at us for getting rid of his phylactery.
Yep.
It's Red. The horse.
God damn it.
Eldon Vale is just an anagram. Okay, what is the point? Your character got hit hardest emotionally. Hit the hardest emotionally.
Hasn't
Oh, hey.
happened yet.
Yeah, it definitely happened for me, huh?
When?
When he last talked to Valerie,
Mm-hmm.
would have been his hardest emotional moment.
Mm-hmm. Morgan?
Hit emotionally.
Alexander doesn't have feelings.
He does. You
I'm
just
just-
haven't found a way to poke them yet.
Yet.
I don't know. He was probably pretty, I mean, like, not in like a bad way, but emotionally kind of rocked when Fates Chosen originally were like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever, we don't care. It's like what? But then yeah, I don't know. Not much since then. He hasn't been around enough to get too emotionally rocked yet, I think. Um, yeah, it's tough.
Kate.
Hasn't happened yet.
No?
It's going to though.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's gonna.
Every dog has their day.
Book the the last really incredible like super emotional holy shittery happened at the well when Kestra asked a question she didn't really want the answer to, and she got the answer, and it was a lot. She's still frankly dealing with all of the information that she got from that. However, I feel like that's gonna pale in the comparison to whatever the shit Camille has ready for me whenever that happens.
I do take it back. I think it was definitely at the well for Alexander, because he got a card. He got a cold shot of truth of like, yeah, no, it's because of you. It's not anybody else's fault. So
Yeah.
For the record, when I think about the possible scenarios that might happen within the next session or two, I get physically nauseous. Like instantaneously physically nauseous. So I will be having my green card at the ready for that because it's going to be great.
Mindy.
So I think
She's had so many.
yeah, she just lives in her emotions. I mean, learning the truth about Roman was a doozy, but I think having to shove a dagger into her now fiance's chest to save his life after forcing a vision and then rewinding on the vision to get a different outcome, and then not being able to actually tell him that she loved him because she couldn't talk because she forced a vision. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. It was also a lot because that was
At Gen Con.
It was Gen Con, so we were all in the same space, and it made me hurt.
Tony, you haven't had a lot of time for this, but do you have an answer that you want to give?
Oh, I do. It was definitely the talk that Eldon and Atlas had up in the tree house. Like, after everybody just showed up and he's already like feeling sorry as shit for himself, and that was just like just pulling on those strings right there. So yeah.
All right. Than. No, we already did you. The next question. What is the hardest thing that your characters had to admit to themselves?
Bold of you to think that my character has admitted anything to herself.
All right, Kate, you don't have to answer this question.
Oh, that's really funny.
I mean, for Alexander, I think it was when we were at the well and he got basically just told, like, he had to admit to himself that the reason that he wasn't gifted divinely was because he didn't put in the hours, basically. He put in the hours elsewhere.
He didn't have faith.
He didn't have faith. So.
Yeah. Anybody else want to go?
Eldon's the thought that, or the probability that he's never going back. Where it came from.
But it came with a cool promotion.
It did.
It did, sure.
It's some great new friends.
Yeah.
Hey, new friend.
Connor wants to know what everybody's go-to game time snack drink is.
Wait, can I answer the question?
Oh yeah, you can answer the
Water.
question.
Oh, what was the question though?
What is the
what
hardest
is
thing your
it-
character has had to admit to themselves?
Oh, that's Roman. Recognizing that he was not the person she thought he was. That he made himself out
That's
to be.
really hard because Leona loved Roman,
She did.
and having to admit that the person that you loved is not a good person is
Yep. Hard. Yep.
it's a challenge.
Yes.
That sucks.
In and out of game.
Nope.
So, back to Connor's question.
Yeah.
What is everybody's go-to snack drink?
So water, always.
Pink drinks. Oh,
Tea.
ginger
Right
ale.
now, I have these bacon habanero pretzel crisps.
Habanero?
They're so good.
Habanero?
Bacon
Habanero.
They're so good.
Habanero.
Habanero.
I'm a
Gordon?
big fan of craft beer.
Always tea. I have so much tea. I have 30 different types of tea in my house.
Yes, I eat crackers.
This
And
did have
Drink
sorry,
Kool-Aid like a child.
Michelob Ultra as well is another one.
This had 32 ounces of water in it.
Proud of
It's
you.
empty now. It's usually water, sometimes hard cider.
Yeah. If I'm drinking alcohols, it's either the drink that Kate taught me how to make, which is
Honey
what is
Jack
it?
and ginger ale.
honey jack and ginger ale. I drink a lot of tea. One of my players got me a very, very great DM's tea thing. I don't have snacks anymore, but I suck at buying snacks. Kate's the snack buyer in this house.
I'm also the snacker. So
Yeah, as far as like actual like snacky crunchy things, there are these pretzels that you can get from Binny's, which is a liquor store up here. You can also get them online, but they've got like it's like a honey mustard garlic like flavor to it almost. I don't know how to best describe it, but they are like crack. I mean, they are super good. There we go. Dot's Homestyle Pretzels, not a sponsor.
So
Not a
when
sponsor.
not a
When I am not on keto, I usually have a bag of trail mix beside me.
Yes, we have another question. Hold on, it was up a little bit there. How are y'all going to top at this year's Gen Con? Well, first of all, we're having 2 live shows at Gen Con. One for Faith shows and one for Sunday Friends. And it's going to be very good.
I'll be there this time.
Than will be there this time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will be there. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. Oh, what is your character's favorite food, snack, and why?
Whatever's in front of him.
That's
But
right.
bacon. It's bacon.
I mean, y'all can
Notice-
probably guess mine.
Beer.
Ale.
Beer and bacon.
Beer and bacon.
Beer and bacon.
No wonder she can.
Eldon and Kessler get along on that for sure. Beer and bacon.
Tea definitely for a drink for Leona. Snack. I don't know if she's a snacker. I think she's just a eat meals
Berries?
kind of person. Berries, but only ones that she finds and assumes are okay to eat.
Hey, nobody's died yet from
Nobody's
eating
died.
berries. Nobody has
eating
died from
berries.
eating berries.
Yet, you said.
Yeah,
It's
I think
fine.
that I think Alexander's would probably be whiskey for the drink,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think he probably enjoys like a really good steak.
Yeah, I could see Alexander being that type.
He's definitely an epicure. Like this whole roughing it thing isn't really his deal, but he's lucky because he has prestidigitation, which lets him flavor any food he wants. So he gets to have like the best meal every day. It's just the texture's kind of off.
Yeah. Atlas?
Ooh, well, since he spent so much time in the garden, living off of the land, he enjoys tea, but would really like some baked goods, like
Ooh.
some muffins and some cupcakes and some breads and stuff like that, because, you know, it's really hard to make that when you live in a tree house.
That's fair. We've got a really good question from the audience, from Luke. What is the best way you find to get into character before a session? And do you have any advice for getting better at this? I'll go first. When I play Zytharia, I am very musically motivated. I have a playlist for her. And it's designed to be put in order, but sometimes I'll just play it out of order and on shuffle and kind of like see where it goes. But at first it involves selecting songs that are really meaningful to her. Like she has a song called In Flames, which talks about, I know your demons, I know them by name, talking about her now husband, Wilson. about how it's kind of about how she expected to die in this, because his big enemy was a big red dragon, so she expected to die with him, or go down with him, or she was willing to go down with him in that big fight in flames. And then the second thing I do is if they have I like to come up with a voice or an accent for them. Now that's not everybody likes to do that, but I also like to I personally love to sing. So what I will do is I will sing in their accent, and that usually helps me kind of, as I start to talk like them and kind of get the intonation right. Because Zadoria, she's got this very, like, excited voice, and unless she's talking about something very serious, she's got the very, like, kind of happy-go-lucky nature, and so it helps to start singing along to that, like, that beat, I guess, that concept. What do y'all do to get into character?
For me,
So-
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Morgan.
Tony.
Morgan, go.
Okay. I'm lucky that Alexander is definitely kind of my OC character. It's me for the most part. I use too many big words. All of my players at the game, some of the other games that I DM are like, "Wait, what word? What did you just say?" And they're like constantly calling out GRE words and whatnot. So it's very much me a lot. But I think it does help. He comes from a very analytical place. And so with my job, I usually kind of get off work and have to rush home. And so the entire commute home, I'm usually just like plots within plots and thinking about, okay, Camille's going to go here, or this character's going to go there, or what's Kessler going to do? How do I make that more aligned with my goals? So, I mean, he's very meticulous.
I'm curious to know. Oh, Tony, go ahead.
For me, like, getting into Atlas is a little easier because parts of him are based on parts of my personality, because I'm a martial artist and everything. And in my office where I am at, I am surrounded by weapons. So I just kind of, take in the office and then just kind of find, that wisdom. I channel a little Bruce Lee, channel a little Jackie Chan, try to get that wisdom flowing. And then just once I can just kind of get into the voice, and there it is. So yeah, I also do the voice. The voice becomes Atlas, and then I drop that bass, and yeah, it just goes. So that's me.
Who's next?
I'll go. Eldon is a certain side of me turned up to 11, and like a lot of his philosophies and a lot of his little personality quirks are just mine, cherry picked. But I usually spend all of Monday talking in his voice, and I'll just thicken up my accent quite a bit, and I'll just go around talking like this all day, and people look at me funny, but it's what it is. And so I have to kind of just tap into that voice, and that voice honestly lends itself to being who he is, and just that mentality of get it done, stuff like that. But I don't do a lot. It depends on the session too, though. Like if I know I'm gonna be doing a lot that session, I do kind of have to shut down and just be in my head for a little while before we start.
Definitely. Mindy, Kate?
You want to go? You want me to go?
Go ahead, Mindy.
So I am pretty fortunate in that Leona and I are very similar. Very similar. I also kind of do a combo of the voice with combining that with kind of what Morgan was saying about kind of speculating what might happen, what interactions might happen, and kind of actually speaking those out. Car rides are often me just talking as Leona. Even if those situations never unfold the way that I, and practicing them, it gives me a good idea of where her headspace is. And yeah.
I kind of want to segue in this because if you don't mind me sharing, Mindy, you had a hard time with Leona at first.
I did.
What did you what were some of the things that you did to kind of get more comfortable with her and accept her for who she is?
Wow, I love her so much now.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved her then too, but she drove me crazy. I had a lot of conversations with you, with the DM, kind of talking through, does this make sense? I still have feelings about the first interaction that I had with, well, now we know her to be my mom. I still have feelings. I still feel like I didn't play that right. I think it was a matter of giving myself the time and space to work through who she was. I mean, I had an idea of who she was when she started, but characters, and I know this from writing and
Play by
as
post.
well. Yeah, play by post. That sometimes characters kind of just, if you have a strong enough foundation, the character will just kind of flourish in a way that you may not expect. So it just took a little bit of time for me to figure out what she looked like in action versus what I anticipated her looking like. And then eventually finding where those two kind of coincided. And like I said, I think that answered your question.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted you to segue into that because I think that it's important to highlight the fact that even though you slip so seamlessly into Leona now and it's so second nature to you, it wasn't always. And I think that's important for people to see.
Yeah, I can attest to that as well. I had a stretch for a while that I was just not comfortable with what I was doing as Eldon.
Yeah.
And it just takes time.
Yeah, I think the time, giving yourself time and space to really, the character might be fleshed out, but just because it's fleshed out on paper doesn't necessarily mean you have all of the answers in terms of RP. So just being patient with yourself.
Definitely a very important one. I personally, to get into character, I have a playlist that is half songs Camille did and half songs that I did. And every once in a while I'll hear one and go, holy shit, and add it to the playlist. And it's miraculous. I listen to that at work on Mondays to help me get into it. I'm kind of a mix between Camille and Mindy, to the surprise of no one. I listen to the playlist and then I too talk to myself through scenarios on long drives, or if I'm at work. I'm pretty sure the kitchen staff thinks I'm crazy on Mondays because sometimes I'll just talk to myself while stocking things. But other than that, I just talk a little lower and talk a little slower and try to embrace the annoyed at all times. But Mindy's right. You absolutely have to be patient with yourself and you have to communicate with the DM. That is a very important part of, if you're trying to figure out a character, trying to figure out where you want this character to go, what you want this character to do. Be patient with yourself, give it time, it will figure itself out. But also talk to the DM because the DM can help. I also had issues with Kestra in the beginning. Mainly trying to figure out why the hell she was there. There are still 2 sessions in the early beginning that she was there because I made her be there, but strictly speaking, she should have jumped ship the moment they reached the city. And I talked to Camille about that, and she and then Kestra got stabbed through the chest by an old man, so ask and you shall receive. But
I just try to give my players what they ask for.
I would say that Camille is specifically amazing at helping through those things, those concerns, and helping you find a character.
Yeah, that's what I was
Really
gonna
good.
say.
Yeah.
She was really good at reminding me to be patient with myself and talking and asking questions to kind of help me figure out why Leona was doing the things she was doing or why she was reacting certain ways, and if it made sense, if it didn't make sense, why I felt like it did or did not make sense. So she was really great in that regard.
Thank you. It helps when I have such amazing players. And so, yeah, Morgan and Tony, neither of them have needed really that, or have. We've got all different kinds of player types here. Morgan has this very strong idea of what he brought Alexander to the campaign, fully formed, and so he. I don't know. You could tell us, Morgan, if you ever really struggled to play Alexander, or if he just seemed really natural to you right off the way.
I definitely thought he would go in a different direction than he's gone. I originally thought, and you can actually see it a little bit more in our first sessions. He's a lot more awkward in the first sessions. I don't know what it was, but I slipped into a much more confident role for him, and I didn't really intend that, but I kind of like where it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some more questions from the chat. The first one is, Camille, what is your secret to being so cool? I surround myself with even cooler people than I am. Like the person asking the question. Talbos asked, have I ever outright stolen, for lack of a better term, aspects from pop culture to use for story beats, Camille? Fuck yes, I have. You are not a dungeon master unless you've stolen something. No, in all seriousness, though, part of the reason why I have such a fleshed out world is because I don't make everything up. I would drive myself crazy trying to create everything. I don't have made up gods. The months of the year are barely made up. Like, literally, they're just pagan moons. Even the places are based on, like, Neverwinter or, like, whatever, a little bit. I think that... So I think that also, here's a big part. I love the first season of Critical Role is very important to me. It's a very emotional thing for me. So I have a group in my campaign, a legendary group called the Seven, who is a tribute to the Vox Machina. They're different characters. They're different. They play different roles, but that's kind of what I imagine them as. They are my group's or my world's Vox Machina, and like, for example, Adelaide Wolfwood is a tribute to Vexalia. But so is the warden Visera. It even sounds like Vexalia a little bit. Yeah, it's I believe firmly in paying tribute to the things that I love. And I've loved Critical Role and what they've done, and I've always wanted to kind of like distinguish myself from them, but at the same time, I love it, and I want to incorporate some of those aspects into my world. So I'm 0% above stealing stuff, especially if it makes my life easier. And I don't think anybody else should be ashamed of doing that either. Unless you're like very blatantly ripping it off and claiming it as your own, that's different. And I think that I think that as a lore builder, you're gonna know. If it feels wrong, don't do it. But if it feels like, no, this is gonna be fucking cool, then do it. Sorry, these are a couple of these are for me. How do you build the world as the players go so quickly, but still keep everything feeling so fluid and connected?
Because she's awesome.
I think a big part of it is being very flexible, and not having everything nailed down. Even sometimes I catch myself still trying to be that way, still trying to be a little bit railroady, and my players really challenge me to kind of not do that. But I I try to make things. I have a framework. Of what's in my head, of what's happening, and what's going on. But the world only exists where the players. The world primarily exists where the players interact with it, and so everything else is loose and fluid and loosey goosey. So, thank you, Fellowship of the Tables. The player's riddle for the Well of Wonder was from Madame Mayo. It was straight up from Redwall, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
stole that shit.
Which I mean, I have to say, first of all, good job, Fellowship of the Tables, because I loved those books growing up. I read them
loved
religiously,
So
and
did I.
I did not clue into that at all until he brought it up.
Yep. You're the first person to point that out. I loved those books. I was obsessed with them.
I also like if you can stand some of like the other awful stuff. I can't remember where it was, but I want to say it was on somethingawful.com or something like that. Someone did a like a write-up of the Redwall books, and like reading it as an adult, it's really good because it points out some of the huge flaws in Brian Jacques' works, but in a very funny way. Like, you know, they're obviously still a lot of fun, but I think one of the things it just talks about is like the descriptions of food is just ridiculous. How much he describes food.
Yeah, he fucking loves food. Yeah, so we're gonna jump to a question for y'all. If your character had to change classes, what class would they be?
Paladin.
Kate?
Oath of Devotion.
Oath of Devotion, yep.
I feel like the obvious answer is fighter.
Mm-hmm. But she already is a
Well,
fighter,
you already
so...
are a fighter, which is why I'm stuck too, because I can't take cleric technically, which is what Oracle's based around. So
Ranger.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Warlock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although I could possibly do sorcerer.
Okay.
I can see it.
I could see.
I think Ranger would be one that Kessler would fit real well. But one thing that I've said once or twice is that Kessler really fits Cord a lot better
Yeah, she does.
than she fits Paylor. She fits Cord a lot better. But hey, Cord's not the one that cursed her. And she didn't defile a major artifact of Cord, so Paylor it is.
Paylor it is.
I could see Leona becoming a druid.
That's what I was leaning towards, but then I remembered how much she hates bugs. But that is what I was leaning towards, because she does like the soft, cuddly things.
You don't have to be a bug. You don't have to like bugs to be a druid.
I mean, I
There's
feel like...
so many other kinds of druids. You do not have to like bugs to be a druid.
Okay, perfect. Then that's what I was leaning towards. I was thinking druid. Maybe.
There's
no, probably
Circle
just
of the
druid.
Shepherd.
What's that?
It's about
You-
puppies.
Yeah.
It's not actually about puppies, but it's
What?
You're
Camille,
basically.
I'm gonna multi-class again.
No.
She's
Okay.
already got one summoner in the group. She doesn't need more.
No.
Time out. Wait, baby owlbears though.
No.
They're my favorite. Fun story. My last bard that Camille and I played with, she tried to adopt a baby owlbear.
What did I have to do to get you to not adopt it?
You made it run away after we were attacked by a shark. And then you made it run away because I was trying to save it from the shark.
How did you get attacked by a
She went in the water. He went in the water.
Because the baby owlbear. I was trying to save the baby owlbear.
Yeah, but why were you in a place where a shark could get you with a baby owl?
I don't know. All I know is I wanted the baby owlbear. It was super cute. And then my DM informed me that
No.
no.
One of the questions for me is, what is your method for getting into the heads of different characters over the course of the campaign? I'm assuming that you mean, I'll go from either. For the player characters, I fucking talk to them all the time. I love chatting with them. I think that when I have a solid foundation of, I always joke that I know my player characters as well as, if not better than my players do. And I think that just comes from being really involved in the character creation process for my people who I created these characters with. but also just an open line of communication and really just paying attention. Like, really just, like, listening during a session and seeing what they do. Because as a DM, it can be easy to tune out while they're role-playing and to kind of, like, think about what's happening next. It can be very easy to do that, and I do not judge anybody who does that, especially if you're a brand new DM or you're new or you're just, like, trying to, like, get your shit together. But it's one of those things that it's just, I try to pay really close attention. For NPCs... The easy answer for that is they're my player, or they're my characters. They're my original characters that I play in Dungeons & Dragons. Arreo, not even Dungeons & Dragons, Arreo is a character that I role-played by Play-by-Post. And I've been playing him for 5 to 8 years now over Play-by-Post, just in a different world, just in the Harry Potter universe. Same with Annalena. Zytharia is a character that I have in a game I play with Morgan and Mindy. I attach them to real people. I think, this is how I would be if this were my life. That's what I say. Like, for example, Sura is a lot like me, how I would be if I was living that life. And that's what I do to get into their heads. What else? Here's another question for you, DM. Have you ever had a piece of lore or exposition change at the last minute? Yes.
All of it.
Yes. Especially when I realize that I, like, fucked up. When I, like, if something doesn't make sense, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm saying this, but this doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, well, let's just change it. That's my strength as a DM, I would say, is being very flexible and kind of adapting at the last minute. I've talked about this before, but I really like when my players come up with better lore than I do. Like, sometimes Kate goes off on these rants about what she thinks would be really fucking cool, or what she thinks it is, and I'm like, that was way better than what I had planned. Fuck you. I'm stealing that. That's what's gonna happen now. And I love to do that, because Kate's brilliant. So,
Sometimes.
absolutely love to do that. Question for Than. What's the one thing, the worst thing, that could or does keep Eldon up at night?
His vision.
What do you think? Do you have theories about this? Does anybody have theories about Than's vision?
I haven't watched it enough to have theories. I will, though. I need to
I've
rewatch
watched it a
it.
few times.
Wait,
I need to
and-
watch it
Morgan's.
2 more times.
Would y'all like me to read you his vision?
That'd be
Sure.
great.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
a recap.
Let's just pull up my
Let's
Google Drive.
crowdsource my
While
vision
she
here.
is pulling that up, we do have a question for Eldon and Atlas. That's very simple. Do you have siblings? While she's finding her stuff.
The characters or the players?
The characters.
Mm.
No, well, Tony and Eldon. This question is for Tony and Eldon, so I don't know what that means. Is it Tony and Than?
It's got to
or
be
is
the
it
characters, right?
Eldon and Atlas.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just gonna say a blanket yes. Tony
Yeah,
has siblings and Atlas has siblings.
In real life, I have a brother. In Eldon's life, he honestly doesn't know,
No.
but he
Things is-
doesn't know if he does or not. But he was not raised with any. But he doesn't know his background. He was raised on the streets.
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
All
I
right.
want to I want to write this down, but I'm not gonna be able to write fast enough. Just go.
Just watch the VOD.
2 faceless noblemen sit across from one another. One dressed in white, the other in black. Between them is a dragon chessboard. The black mage takes the white cleric. The white nobleman begins to reach for their piece, one of their pieces. And you learn this later, but that is the hero piece. But stops, looking up. Another figure, this one made of shadow, watches their game from above. Their head shakes slowly from side to side, and the white noble chooses another piece instead. The paladin. A wren perches on the shadowed figure's shoulder, whispering in their ear. The bird's song is nervous, frantic. The figure takes the bird into their hands, and you see a pair of lips move, but you hear no sound. Soothed, the wren flutters away. The chessboard melts away, as do the nobles, whose flesh and bones draw together and upwards into the looming presence of a flesh-bound book, which snaps closed with a flicker of arcane energy. That same flicker sparks again. Blinding light flashes behind your eyes as lightning strikes a massive ash tree, whose bark is shattered shields, whose branches is bloody spears. The trunk splits asunder from the roots, and from the roots emerges that same shadowed figure. They steal away into the dark of the night, rushed, desperate, leaving behind a path littered with the bodies of birds, towards a very small rowboat at the river's edge. Another crash of lightning echoes from the distance.
Woof. There's a lot. There's so much going on.
So much going on.
Yeah.
I mean, like the chess game is could be construed as a fairly obvious allusion to the war that's going on,
It could
and the switching of the piece, switching from the hero to the paladin. I'm not sure.
I
have theories for that one.
I have a theory for that one too.
Let's
Go
hear it.
ahead, Mindy.
I think we know that there is a prophecy about a specific date in which two characters have a shared birthday. Ray and Kessera. And I think part of me wonders if the white mate, is it a mage?
The white nobleman. Two noblemen.
Oh yeah, it's the two noblemen. If that's a representation of Paylor, and they go, but then who would they be looking at?
Kate, what's your theory?
I had a theory.
I have
and
a
it didn't
theory.
make sense.
I mean, that's a good theory, Mindy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good theory.
Going instead of Ray. That's the only thing I can.
However, the paladin was put into play. I'm just sorry. You just keep coming
That's my
back.
cat. Perfectly allowed.
Needle toes. I have a theory that the paladin was Marshall. I have a theory that the paladin was Marshall.
Dan doesn't know who Marshall was because he didn't go back and watch the show before he joined.
Marshall is Aureo and Annalena's real father.
Who also happens to be a paladin of Helm.
From the
Also a cleric, but
from Helm he was pulled from his world of the Forgotten Realms world into this world by a burst of magic, and now has to live in this world without his gods.
Yep, but he's a paladin.
Um,
I mean, he's also a cleric,
Mm-hmm.
but he was put into play and then very quickly taken off the board.
I mean, I'm considering what we know. I have a feeling that the moving, like it's alluding to something going on with the war only because the two bodies come together into a book bound in flesh, which is probably an allusion to the Godfall book that the Sunday Friends have been looking at.
That creepy
But
ass.
may or not be. Everything after that, though, like I got nothing with the the tree and the running to the river. I got nothing.
All the birds dying. Like I'm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruminate on it. Don't worry, I'll come
Okay.
back.
All right.
I'll come back.
I will
always
give a
have
very
theories.
special shout out to. I did not come up with this myself. Not entirely. I had a lot of help from Roots of Unity. Follow them on Twitter if you don't already at Roots of Unity. They are a great sounding board for me to kind of like bounce some of these ideas off of, and he is an incredible writer and helped me come up with some of the words for this. So I want to give a special shout out there.
So good. So good.
So yeah, I'm excited because Elden's story has not even begun, and I will let y'all know that when y'all go into this tower, you will get a glimpse.
Oh, I have a question.
What's up, Morgan?
So, and we'll see it. You might not be able to answer this, but So let's see here. So Alistair McGrath is in Zandaria Massier's tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
And we know that she was a necromancer, etc. And we found out through Eldon that McGrath went to the Well of Wonder, or we assume went to the Well of Wonder sometime in the past couple of years. Did McGrath leave the Massiere spellbook that I found there that the Silver Dragon gave to me?
Fuck, Morgan! Damn! Because that was such a good question. Yes, I will give that to you. Yes, he did.
All right.
Well done.
Fun.
Bravo. That was not something I expected to come up for a long time.
We gotta watch out, guys, because there's some nasty spells in that book. I hope everybody's dex is up. I think it's only going to be me that's going to be in any real trouble, but
Yikes.
It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. It's like a great, exciting adventure that we're on together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I got good decks. We're good.
I'll do some monk shit. I'll be fine.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
I've got a
And
shield.
just
I'm
stay
totally
close
safe.
to Kestra. Kestra has the... It's fine. It's going to be great. Here we are. Oh, God.
Mindy. We have any more questions from the chat?
yeah, there were a couple. I think
Yeah, there's- yeah.
Telda's wondered who would we have play our characters in a live-action movie?
Tom
That is
Hardy.
And
Tom
who
Hardy.
would voice them in the anime version?
God.
Laura
know
Bailey
about
would be
that,
Zytheria.
Travis Willingham.
I'll be honest. I know it's a bit narcissistic, but I think young Brad Pitt is who I would want to play
Yeah.
Alexander.
That makes sense.
For Atlas, for live action, Sacha Dhawan, who is currently playing the Master in Doctor Who and played the Steel Serpent in Iron
Mhm.
Fist. I would have him playing Atlas. And for my anime voice, I want Andre Brower,
Mm.
also known as Captain Holt from Brooklyn
Well, yes.
Nine-Nine.
Perfect.
Um,
It's perfect.
It's for the voice. That's a tough one. There's a voice that I have in my mind, and I can't remember the voice actor's name. But it's the guy who plays Spike Spiegel from Cowboy
Stephen
Bebop.
Bloom.
There we go.
Yeah.
I knew it
Yeah.
was on the tip of my tongue, but
I actually just got
It's
the
a
name
cop
from
out
his
to
at
say Troy
OhioCon.
Baker, but you know.
and actually I have one small recommendation
Actually.
for who I would play. Like if we're going like in current times, like if there was somebody that I would get to play, I think would actually be oh Jesus, I just had his name. I think Taron Egerton would actually do a really good
Oh, I love
would actually do a
him.
really good Alexander for like someone who's actually able to play something like right now.
So, just gonna let y'all know we have about 15 minutes left. We're gonna try and stop at around 8. Mindy, who would play Leona in a live action?
My first thought is Mila Kunis, only because she's small and has really big eyes.
Yeah.
But that's literally, I don't know.
I can see it.
I've seen this question a lot, and every time I think about it, I'm like, I have no idea.
I based a lot of my character's look on Tom Hardy. Like that was one of the early things that I'd figured out that like this specific look for, I don't remember which show it was from, but I think it was not Taboo, Peaky Blinders maybe. But he has this scar on his face, and I'm just like, that's what I want him to look like. I want him to look rough, have a scar. Like, yeah.
Tony, what
Mhm.
makes Atlas Atlas?
Ooh. So to be honest, when I was first coming up with Atlas, he was going to be this like kind of fun, jovial, like bouncy around Tigger like character. And then as I like got into like his head, he did like a total 180 and became this like somber young like monk type with like this over exaggerated sense of like duty. So I think like since he was tasked to protect Lorekeeper, and like it's a duty that was like kind of passed around through the people in his organization, and he was the first one to like let something bad happen, so he just feels really super bad about that. So he's really all about trying to make that fuck up disappear. And now that he has found these people, and apparently some of them have some connection to Lore Keeper in the Stones, there may be more to that. So, like, Atlas is all like sense of duty and responsibility and looking out for people while exploring this new world that he never got a chance to before. As Camille shakes her head at me.
So I do have an answer to the last one. I just got distracted, and I apologize for that. The only person, so Kesra is a merge of a lot of different characters that I have seen in media, a lot of different characters that I've written for different sites and things like that. She's a merge of a lot of things. But the only translation I can see, like truly into this world, is Rosa Diaz.
Oh.
Stephanie Beatriz, I don't know how to pronounce her last name fully, but like that actress and the way she talks and the way she acts and who she is a major part of Kesra's influence. And honestly, Emily Blunt, huh? I could see that. I could see Emily Blunt for Kesra. What was that one movie she was with Tom Cruise?
Oh yeah,
With
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Edge of
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Die
God, I
Repeat.
love that movie.
Emily
Oh, so
Blunt,
good.
Edge of Tomorrow. That works very well. That works very well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah.
watch that
But
now.
probably for the anime, probably Stephanie being doing her Rosa Diaz voice would
Yes.
probably be the best Kesra voice I could think of.
Because Stephanie's real voice is way more Leona.
Yes. Good suggestion, Chungo Mungo. Suggestion.
All right.
Also, the manga for Live Die Repeat is amazing, and if you ever get a chance to read it, you should.
Do any of my players have any last questions for each other?
Kate,
Oh fuck. Yes.
how
Yes.
does Kesra feel about Atlas? Because you're like the one who's like eluded him the most on like trying to like crack that shell.
Please don't take this the wrong way. Indifference.
That's fair.
She's been indifferent about Leona for 60
To be
seconds.
honest,
Yeah,
that's
right,
a good
like-
place to start.
Yeah. She has, if they had met at any time literally ever other than this, probably there would be a lot more mistrust there. But she's got a lot going on. She has a lot to think about, and you are not Red Atlas is not exactly I don't know. Right now it's indifference. She hasn't really had much of an opportunity to really super get into it right now. She's a lot of other things going on, so
Yeah. We'll see how Kesra feels about Atlas after a certain fight.
well,
Oh, yeah.
We made a deal.
I said I would try.
oh,
Don't worry, I don't know.
yeah. Well, we'll see how she feels about a lot of things. I've learned not to speculate on situations because they never actually turn out the way I speculate at all. So, ever. So, I just,
I don't
working
know
on
how many
that.
words Eldon and Kesra have spoken to each other directly, like one-on-one. I think we talked about being drunk and feeling our noses, and then
Yes.
I think that was
If
about.
they've interacted, it's mostly been alcohol
Yeah.
involved. She's
And it's not much. I haven't really talked to Leona a lot either. Like,
I mean, I feel
I
like
may have talked to Atlas spoken more words between me and Atlas than any of the others.
Well, that's gonna change now that I know you
Well,
have
now that you
a
know.
secret lover.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that. But it was just opportunity hasn't been there, and
Yeah, she's
Golden respects Kesra's space.
things are going down, have been continuing to go down, and will continue to go down, and she is
Yeah.
hunkering like
Doubling
she
down.
is- yeah. She is fucking walls up. If I gotta do this, not gonna be happy about it, but I'm gonna fucking do it. Someone asked me to do it like that.
We have one last question from Taldos.
Oh?
Will you please have a great night after this?
Don't tell me what to do.
No.
I'm going to bed.
I am
so-
also going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm putting away laundry.
I mean, that's
fair.
good and important too.
I'm gonna watch
It is.
Clone Wars.
I'm gonna put my fuzzy owl blanket in the dryer so that it's warm,
No.
and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Mindy, you need to get some rest.
yeah. I can tell that your cold meds are starting to wear off a little
Yeah.
bit.
Here we are, world.
All right, friends. Well, thank you for joining us on this impromptu fourth watch. We will return next week with a very, very exciting session
Oh gosh.
featuring the Dark Tower of Alistair McGrath. Let's go ahead and sign off. Feel free to plug anything you've got going on. Mindy, start us off.
Hi, I'm Mindy. You can find me on Twitter at MKY1713. I play Leona when I'm not sick from the flu. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, hi, I'm Kate. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere else supporting at Very Pale Ale, because I am both very white and very bitter. I on most Monday nights I play Kestra.
Morgan.
Hey everybody, I'm Morgan. When we're playing, I play Alexander. You can find me on Twitter at Revenant_Risen or on Instagram, which is probably where I do more things, at Revenant_Ceramics. Yeah, that's it.
Dan.
Hey, I'm Dan Rand, everywhere on the internet, mostly on Twitter and on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Dan Rand every Tuesday and Thursday night. And then on Friday nights at twitch.tv/WelcomePartyRPG, playing more D&D goodness.
And Tony.
Hey, I'm Tony. I play Atlas here on Monday nights. I can be found on most of the internet at Cap Lagrange, CAPT Lagrange, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. Yeah. Camille.
That's me! Hi, my name is Camille. You can find me on the internet at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find the channel on the internet, mostly Twitter, at Open4Adventure. We would like to give a special shout out to our Warm and Fuzzies. We've got Callan.
Woo!
We've got Bel Chavez.
Yeah.
And our newest, Andrew from, oh God, what is it? Fellowship of the Tables!
Woo!
Thank you for joining us, Fellowship of the Tables, Andrew, and our Warm Fuzzies, and I hope you enjoy all that lovely Patreon content that you just have got access to. Also, special thank you to our sponsors, Campaign Coins.
Campaign coins. I actually just purchased the concentration coin. I can't wait for it to come.
Looks so cool.
They have some fantastic stuff, including the Devon Rue compass, which I use when I DM my Sunday night games here at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Go
They're
and
very
check
beautiful.
them out.
They're very beautiful. Alrighty, well, that's going to be all for us tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next time on Open for Adventure. Bye.